Welcome back to Sample Book 5, our knit sample, and this is part 3. We're now working on the neckline. So, quick recap. We have used our overlocker to serge the shoulder seams together, and we have pressed those forward where we have our bigger swoop in the neckline. And then I have folded and pressed because pressing it makes so much easier when we get to this part. Between 1/4 and 3/8 of an inch. Just go ahead and grab your seam gauge and kind of pick between that, and we're now going to top stitch. So I already have my machine ready. I have already done my sample stitches and I have adjusted my tension as needed. And I am now going to be just sewing this all the way around. And so once again, like if you want to look at this from the front, we have our bigger swoop, and make sure whenever you're pressing that these sides that are folded also have that overlocked part going to the front. And I like to kind of once again start on one of my side seams just so I can see what's going on. And this is going to be a tiny little seam. So really working on getting very close to where that folded edge is. And it does take some, especially with the knit, kind of like some negotiating with the fabric. We need to negotiate the pleats, as Tina Turnblad would say. So, going in, and I'm trying to line up my fold of fabric with the inside left part of my presser foot. And I'm going to go nice and slow in a circle around, back stitching at the beginning and at the end. And so this is very similar to our spiral of having that control. So make sure you back stitch. We only need 2 or 3 stitches once again, especially since this is a knit. If you do too much, it's going to be more that's going to be pop and could actually like tear fabric when that stretch is occurring. So we're just going to go nice and slow around our neckline. And since I'm kind of on the other side, I'm now going to go ahead and I'm going to trim my threads from where I started so I don't create a huge like knot when I come back around. Once again, making sure both of these are going the same direction as I sew this down. Once again, just focus on just a little bit right in front of your needle as we are nearing where we began. back stitch, and then take this out and trim those threads. And once again, making sure oh no, did I ran out of bobbin thread partway through. Well, I'm going to refill my bobbin, but this is what it should look like. Not over here in this last 3 inches where I ran out of bobbin. So I'm going to refill my bobbin, and I'll be back for the next part. But I'll go ahead and let you know what I'm going to do, because this is also a word of advice. I recommend, so next we're doing what we call the arm size. So this is where, if we were putting a sleeve, this is what we would be attaching it to. But this is more like a tank top. So we need to finish this edge so we don't have a raw edge. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold over and we're going to top stitch that down. But here is what I would recommend. You want to do it before you overlock the sides together and you put in your side seam, because then you only have to do a flat piece of fabric, making sure that that has been folded down and is pressed down. So then you only have to do this like weird C shape as opposed to a one that's already joined together at the side seam. So after I refill my bobbin, I am going to go and finish my neckline. I am going to go and press this down just like I did for this. Press it inwards between 1/4 and then 3/8 of an inch. And I'll be back and I'm going to top stitch that down. And I want to do that before I do my side seam, so it's easier on myself. You can do this after you do your side seams. Just know it is like the more difficult journey. So if that's what you want to do and give yourself a little challenge, go for it. Otherwise, I would do it before you do your side seam. Just makes it easier on yourself. So, but that is how we should be doing the neckline of the Sample Book 5 knit sample.